Except that we know he doesn't die here. Yeah, we already know it's for 3 weeks because of the last episode. The commanders were talking about it. Well, fuck. I asked for it. There it was. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're here with Banner of the Stars 2, the final episode. Also, I'm recording with this little muffler thing on the end of my mic, see if that helps the audio quality any, so if any of this sounds weird for any reason, I apologize. This is a test. I'm really hoping to improve things for an upcoming live recording of things that I'm doing. By the time this comes out, that would have long been over, so we'll find out. Last episode, we did a heartfelt series of flashbacks to previous scenes throughout the show. Obviously, we're trying to build up the emotional resonance of the characters for whatever is about to happen. I mean, obviously, it looks like Jinto is about to die, right? I don't know how. I mean, we're here at the very end, and he hasn't made it to the cave. I kind of just assumed this whole time that he was going to get taken hostage, because that's like the position he's been in the whole time, and then he was taken hostage, and they didn't bring him to a cave. But he was also, like, on a bed when we saw him in the first episode. And they had to break into the cave, so, I mean, unless it's like a cask of Amontillado situation, then I don't know what's going on. Also, I guess I've been calling the whole time that destroying the atmosphere was going to be a Chekhov's gun. Wrong about that, too. I feel like I have had a good track record across this show about guessing what was going to come. Well, I say good track record, maybe like a 50, 60%, better than normal. But this season, with how it started, has kind of thrown me. I do not know. So yeah. Only other piece of bookkeeping to do here, I feel like, is the fact that if you saw the board last time, I did not mark Anguson down as dead. I'm not going to mark him yet either until this episode is over. If he doesn't show up this episode, I'll go ahead and mark him dead. Maybe I'll do the classic thing of a circle around him with a question mark. Only because I believe that he has been shown to be that kind of character who would not die due to being hit by a tidal wave. I mean, obviously he should be dead, but he is that kind of ilk that basically like a serial killer from a horror movie, right? You shoot him a bunch, you look away, you look back, where'd he go? Anguson gets washed away, something happens, we think we're fine, he shows up again. That sort of thing. So if they don't do that this episode, then I'm just going to assume he's dead. Either way, though, this is the last episode of Banner of the Stars 2, so let's go ahead and hop into it and see what it has in store for us. Who's that for? I mean, the finish them sign. I didn't know who that was aimed at.
あれから何日経ったのだろう。もう囚人たちを避けて生きていくのは限界かもしれない。食料はもうとっくに尽きていた。最後に食べたのがアリレームのかけらだったのは覚えているけど。
It hasn't been implied to us why he hasn't been able to circle back to the guards. I guess maybe he's afraid that he doesn't know which guards are with the drug dealers.
もっとも他にすることなんて一つもないけど、思い切って囚人相手に強盗でもしてみようか。
面白いな。これが話に聞く強盗というものか。
まあね。ねえ、
I really don't remember Lafiel saying this is fun.
さすがだな。強盗であるならやはり金品を奪わないとな。私には思いつかなかった。そなたは強盗をしたことがあるのか。
冗談じゃない。僕は素人だよ。睡眠以外の時間は詩の創作に励んでいる。せめて
I feel like this is either something so blatantly obvious that I'm just not seeing, because he is wandering around in the open.
暗闇に死す。我ながら陳腐だな。だけどそれは満足するには程遠く、収穫といえば僕に文学的才能の欠けていることがはっきりしたことぐらいで。待てよ、なぜアーブ語なんだ。マーティン語ならいい詩が書けるかも。
Aren't these?
違う。僕が思いを伝えたいのはマーティン人じゃない。最後の言葉をマーティン語で残したことを知ったら彼女は何て言うだろうな。知っているマーティンの詩をアーブ語に訳して書こうか。
Does that imply that every planet or system has its own language?
ダメだ。姑息だよな。それに子守歌ぐらいしか覚えてない。
I guess as far as we know, the Hyde system wasn't under any
子守歌か。
empire or kingdom before
そ
the
れは
Ob
見
took
え
it.
かもしれないな。
Uh-oh, the blood-sucking, I guess they're leeches. I guess those are just leeches.
ごめんね、ラフィール。さよなら、ラフィール。
Except that we know he doesn't die here. Yeah, we already know it's for 3 weeks because of the last episode, the commanders were talking about it. Well, fuck. I asked for it, there it was.
言われてみればあんまり大丈夫じゃない。この世界はいつもこうなのか。
海はロブナスが自慢できるたった一つのものと思っていたのですが、
実に爽やかな海ですよ。天気もいいし。
My first impression was that Lafiel was saying this place stinks because of all the death. I keep forgetting. Ob hate planetside.
3週間で見る影もない。
ええ、毒風派とアンガス派が未だ構想を続けているようです。
まさに混沌というところですか。
的確な表現です。ロブナス第2はこの先一体どうなってしまうのか。
ちょっと待った。艦長はここにいてください。危険ですから。
これは私の個人的な作戦だ。余計なことをするでない。
個人的なのは俺も同じことで
It's
す。
funny, you could call it a personal matter.
戻ってきたんですから。でもね、その格好は目立ちすぎますって。
私からもお願いします。せっかく殿下のお力添えで刑務官一同傭兵団として再出発できたのに、最初の仕事で顧客を危ない目に遭わせたとあっては今後の信用に傷がつきます。
心配するでない。そなたたちの仕事は私の護衛じゃないんだ。
そうは言われましても。
艦長、もしもご自分の身を危険にさらすことで贖罪になるとお思いでしたら、それは間違いですね。
贖罪などと。
I don't know who you'd be atoning to.
あの決定を正しか
I
ったと思
mean,
う
the First Fleet maybe, but
危
they
険の中に飛び込んでい
don't
く
care
必要は
about this
ない
part
で
of
しょ
the story.
分かった。
それでは殿下、我々は作戦を続行します。
ああ、頼む。
彼らも辛いでしょうな。
何がだ。
ここは連中が住んでいた場所ですからね。
Was that the implication that they took the guards with them when they left? Because I thought they could barely even take the women. So how they... Oh, sorry. The ones that went to the port were able to leave. Everybody else had to stay here, though.
まさか私を止めておいて自分だけ贖罪をしたつもりになるんじゃないだろうな。
いや、俺たちは罪滅ぼしを別の形でやるんですよ。
俺たち。
あ、つまり俺の故郷の流儀ですよ。
何をするんだ。
料理です。 久しぶりに会う友人のため腕によりをかけてうまいものを作るのが
So we've seen Jinto starving to death, and this guy is just gonna
わ
cook
ざ
a
わざ
meal.
道具を持ってきたのか。
もちろん何のために俺がここに来たと思ってたんです。まあ倍が倍だから10年ぶりに値するほどの皿を並べてみせますよ。なるべく冷めないうちに帰ってきてほしいもんだ。もし無駄になったりしたら
Also surprised to see him being the one that has to cook the meal, or deciding to cook the meal, given
ミッ
we've,
ドグラッドで一番礼儀に反する行為が何か
yeah, here we go.
わかりますか？
料理を無駄にすることか。
ほぼ正解。他人に食事を用意させておいてすっぽかすことです。
Okay, not what I thought they were talking about. The whole thing about the cuisine of his home planet
その料理だけで
being shocking to the people who
私も
invaded.
手伝おうか。
館長が？いや、それはミッドグラッド料理っていうのは独特な技法がありまして、とにかく道具も自分の分しか用意してませんからいいです。
無理にとは言わぬ。
じゃあ俺に任せてください。だいたい館長、料理なんてしたことないでしょう。
無論したことはないけ
I
れ
mean,
ど。
specifically, if Jinto is passed out due to starvation at this point, he isn't gonna, like, make his way
そういうことで
here to the food.
何か？
その私はどんな顔をしてあのものを出迎えればいいのであろう。
そいつは館長が誰を迎えるつもりかによりますな。
どういう意味だ。誰を迎えるのか決まってるじゃないか。
つまりですね、置き去りにした部下を迎えるおつもりなら、そして置き去りにしたことが正しい判断だとお考えなら、まあご苦労だったと肩でも叩いてやれば十分じゃないですかね。
もしも部下でなければ。
俺は今から友人の無事を祝うために料理をするところです。でも館長がどうするかは俺の頭からは出ない答えですな。少なくともミッドグラッドのやり方は皇族方のとは違うで
I
し
mean,
ょう。
it's cute how we're, like, still circling around it, like,
俺には想像がつかない
people
ですよ。
don't know
許すがよい。
their
そういうことを
relationship.
聞いた。
今の会話は俺の一生の宝物になりますよ。
I mean, obviously, these two, everyone knows. That's not what I meant.
みんなに自慢してうさんくさがられることにします。
They're circling around it as though they don't know to each other. And clearly they do.
ジンと。
何すんだよ。私が殺したんじゃないったら。
どういうことだ。誰が殺されたんだ。
あ、殿下。報告に伺おうとしていたところでした。これを。
ジンと。これはどうしたんだ。
I guess some women were willing to stay on the planet.
私が殺したんじゃないったら。
ジンと。エルハクは殺害されたのか。
私が行った時にはもう死んでたんだ。死んだ人間にはこんなの必要ないだろ。それで死刑したんだ。大して綺麗でもないけど捨てておくのももったいない。
今この女の証言した場所に部下を急行させています。もし死体があれば
Is it going to be somebody else stole it from Jinto and then that person died? So we got a lot of time to figure this out.
この死体で間違いないか。
Way too much time for it to be direct.
ほら、変な格好で倒れてるだろ。これ、私があの輪っかを外すときに倒しちまったんだ。
遺伝子照合今やっています。結果が出るまでもうちょっと時間をください。伯爵閣下ではありませんでしたか。
Yeah, see, exactly.
こいつ伯爵閣下なんて名前じゃないよ。ジャンって言うんだ。
言っていない。先にそいつを言え。
あれ、言ってなかったっけか。ジャン、かわいそうにこんなになっちゃって。あんた本当に。
This show is weird.
ちびっとケチだったけど。
I don't mean this. This scene I completely understand. This is
だからあんたジャンの輪っか返しておくれよ。そんなに怒らなくてもいいよもう。
こいつはなぜ閣下の頭冠を持って
I just meant that they don't animate
教えたらな。
anyone else's boobs like they do on the women on the prison planet.
それともの方がいいか。
That's what I mean by weird.
ここんとこあいつらが食べ物を独り占めしてるんで、 私らまでは回ってこないのさ。
わかった、やる。聞かせてくれ。
歌が聞こえたんだ。
歌？
あ、変な歌。それで誰かいるんだなって私らそこ行ったんだ。そしたらあの輪っかを持った兄ちゃんが歌っていた。
奪ったのか。
そうしてもよかったけどね。ジャンのやつが食べ物と交換してやったんだ。あの頃はまだ食べ物に余裕があったし、私らアルカイク決めると妙に親切になるんだ。それで
おい、そこってのはどこだ。どこへ行ったんだ。
そいつは別料金。
いいだろう、案内してくれるな。それから
You're lucky this is a show about negotiation.
お前たちが闘艦を手に入れたのは一体いつのことなんだ。
さあ、昨日
If it
の
wasn't the Ob in
こと
this
か
group,
1ヶ
this
月前か。
this
1
would be a lot
年
more
前か。
brutal.
そんなこと誰にわかる？
昨日のはずがないだろう。1年前のはずもない。
あんたの方がよく知ってるじゃないか。
このアバズレが。
Hey, look at this.
そこへ
Can
案
you
内して
imagine?
場所は覚えているんだろうな。
Can you imagine them putting Lafiel in that animated pose?
私らの大切な縄張りの中にあるから。あの近くに私の家があるんだ。素敵な家だよ。
頼みがある。
何でしょうか、殿下。
ジャンとやらの屍を丁重に葬ってくれないか。私ではそなたたちの壮麗がわからぬ。
かしこまりました。しかしなぜです。伯爵閣下に食料を分け与えたからですか。
違う。
I mean, that was my
我
first
々の
guess.
小取引の相手はそれなりの礼を持って扱う。あの者はハイド博の小取引の相手だった。ならばせめて花を手向ける墓を建ててやりたい。
でもあの女の言うことはあまり信用しない方がいいですよ。力ずくで奪ったのかもしれない。
She's certainly out of it. My first thought was Breaking Bad. For a moment, I was gonna say, nah, it's not quite like the drug addicts from Breaking Bad, because I completely forgot for a moment
そうだな。
that these people are fucking drug addicts too.
どうなさいました、殿下。
私はここで待ってる。
そうですか。いえ、それもいいでしょう。お前たちも一緒に来い。ハンカーを忘れるな。伯爵閣下、いらっしゃいませんか。返事をしてください。
I've certainly called Tumov completely wrong. I just still don't understand why there was the separation of where the communications device was
これは坊やも喜ぶぞ。
versus where Jinto was.
どうしたんだい？エクリア公営書士。
今聞こえたような気がした。
聞こえた？何が？
多分気のせい。
Is this gonna be the scene? Did he crawl down into a cave while he was off screen? We're slowly panning back. You can tell because the guy on the left is slowly getting more and more in frame. Was it sepia tone? Our flashback in episode 1? Or flash forward in episode 1? If it was sepia tone, maybe that's why I thought it was a cave.
眩しい。
少し落とせ。
ラフ
I
ィ
mean, I know that feeling. Waking up after a major surgery
待たせた。
feels like you're going from midnight
そなた。
to
少し
midday.
忘れたな。
君って時々ものすごく控えめに言うんだな。
サムソンがそなたのために食事を用意している。吸い物か厚物くらいなら医師の許可も下りるであろう。
それは楽しみだな。また夢を見たよ。
I don't recall this
ど
being
んな夢
the
だ。
conversation I thought they were having.
いつか言うか。でもどの夢にもアブリアルは泣かないじゃなかったの。僕の可愛い天下。
Sorry, what? What? Wait. There's 10 minutes left in this episode. This wouldn't even be where we ended on a normal episode. We didn't fucking answer anything. The whole season, I have been talking about finding him like this. And she cries, and is he dead? And he looked more alive there than he did at the end of the flash forward at the beginning of the season. Also, what? Was this a good season? Yes. Yes, this was a good season. This was better than Banner of the Stars 1. I'm gonna put that out there right now before I make any complaints that make you think I didn't like this. This was great. In fact, I wish... This is gonna sound weird. I wish there was no Banner of the Stars 1. I wish that time had been spent on something else after this, possibly. Except for 1 or 2 episodes, like obviously that anniversary dinner thing that they had with what's her name, the Count's sister. That was great, but I wish we could have just ignored the whole war effort and had this been something separate, like unrelated, because I didn't get much out of that. This was great because this was closer in the grand scheme of things of what Crest of the Stars was. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate having Jinto having to deal with things on his own, with only Lafiel in the distance, sort of, kind of to help him. But then when we get Jinto on his own, which would have been great character development, or at least character build-up to see what he would have done on his own again after having been with people for so long. It comes to nothing, basically, because he just wanders off and then starves. I can't help it, I feel a little bit let down by how this ended. Again, we've got so much time left in the episode. We can still pull this back.
期間すべて異常なし。これでよしと。
業種候補反養子法も問題なし。
万全の状態で後任の乗員たちに引き渡せそうだな。
そりゃそうでしょう。我々
Sure.
が手塩にかけまし
I
た
don't think you get to say that after what you put the first fleet through.
しかし、少子が全員船を離れるというのも珍しい話ですな。
彼女は私の船の広報誌を引き受けてくれたが、本当は君にも来てもらいたかったんだよ。烈欲少子。
年金分の義理はもう果たしましたからね。
Yeah, but aren't you two in a
人
relationship?
生を有効に使うことにしますよ。
残念だね。
それにしても、
I mean, it is a shame. I feel like I wanted to see you two develop it more.
でもきっとそんなに長い間のことじゃない。
そうだな。
お別れだ。バースロイル。
At least he didn't go down like the last one.
猫が白状だというのは本当だな。 僕のことを覚えてないんだ。
そなたは猫の扱いが乱暴なんだ、ジンと。
まあそれは認めるけど、
ディアオも連れて行くのか。
そりゃ僕の猫だからね。
でもディアホにしてみればここの方が幸せかもしれないぞ。
確かにだいぶ堕落しているな。
Wonder if Jinto's gonna meet the brother.
的に輝いていたような気がする。
いい加減なことは言わぬがよい。この者は子猫の頃から野生からは程遠かったぞ。
子猫の頃はだろ。僕が教育してやったんだ。まあいいや、今すぐ出発ってわけじゃない。
ほら、ここがいいみたいだ。
Yeah,
どうせ
I
3日
think.
も経てば忘れるよ。
Yeah.
それともあの白い猫が彼女
I was gonna say, I think you gotta leave him here. He's happy you're here.
れっきとした乙女だぞ。セル来るか。来るがよい。ディアーホが一緒なら私がこの者を連れて行こう。
I guess that's another solution that works
名前
too.
を呼べば来るのか。おーい、ディアーホ、こっちにおいで。ほら、野生的だろう。
そなたに人望がないだけだ。
そりゃどうも。
セルフルか、良いだろう。私と一緒に来るだろう。我らが行くのはハイド伯国のマルティーヌといった。
That's gotta be what the next
それ
one's
は
about.
珍妙な生き物のあふれる地上世界だそうだ。趣の違う
If there is space combat, that's the one where I want to see that.
ラフィール、君こそ本当にいいの？
何がだ。
政界軍を離れて僕なんかと一緒に来ることだよ。
そのことであれば十分に話したであろう。衆議官入学から数えれば私はもう10年近く軍にいるんだ。そろそろ休暇を取っても。
It's so funny to hear that, considering we're also watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes, where they say you can't count the Academy time.
立派な皇帝になれないよ。
今の陛下はクリューブ王家なんだ。我が王家からあと数世代皇帝が出ずとも恥ずかしいことじゃない。
でもなんだか
そなた一人じゃ心配なんだ。そなたの生死がはっきりしなかった時、私はあんな思いはもうしたくない。
ありがたき光栄だけど、あそこは僕の生まれ故郷なんだよ。大丈夫だよ。ま、多分。
そうか。そなたは生まれ故郷をひどく恐れていたじゃないか。
正直言うと
Kill
確か
killed
に
your
怖い。
dad.
でも
He's clearly not up on the Alb Society, showing back up again.
でも君にとってはそうじゃない。余計なことに巻き込むのが心配だよ、ラフィール。
はっきりするがよい。私にいて欲しいのか欲しくないのか、はっきりするがよい。
Oh, that look at her eyes.
ロックハイド伯爵ジント。
This I appreciate. This is directness that was needed the whole time.
君がそばにいてくれるととても嬉しいよ、ラフィール。
ならば決まりだ。
Grab your cat, we're going.
Dark Jewel, who will give spasm, air of Liu Sogu, Solj Martin, Solj Derek 2, Solj Crossbill, Lolito, Solj Bill, Doom Salt, Solj Zedler.
I guess I didn't say it before. Yes, I recognize this is a lot to do with. Oh, that dress. I was gonna say the standing by the tree thing had a lot to do with what I felt was like Jinto in the first season. On Martine staring up at the stars, and obviously dreaming of going to places that he's never seen before. I did not imagine it was going to be Lafiel standing behind the tree, just out of our sight, and all those times that we've seen it with him. That's cute. I mean, I really like that. That is the. Obviously, it's not exactly giving up everything to be with him, because the implication is that there could be no Empress for generations, and it doesn't fit into Jinto's whole I'll be beside her no matter what, even if I have to die sort of thing. I like it though. Everything I was saying while the credits were rolling about being disappointed, I feel like they did. They paid it off there at the very end. I guess the normal me that is always hoping that somebody dies in one of these shows, not specifically this one, only because I feel like they pull back so hard on not being willing to do that in stories. Obviously, I didn't want anybody to die, and I said before that the expectation that Jinto was going to die from the setup in the first episode already drained me of that emotion of it happening if it were to happen. That it not happening subverted that expectation, right? So then instantly not knowing what was going to happen set me up to be pleasantly surprised by the conversation Lafiel and Jinto then have um, back at the Capitol, which his name is escaping me at the moment, but that giant space station, we've seen it plenty of times. I do wish they had done it before the credits. The credits gave me time to wonder, sit around, think, talk and complain, and suspect that they might do something, because obviously there was plenty of time left in the episode for after credits. I wish they didn't give me that time. That time is obviously the noose by which to hang myself with. I wish they had gone right into it so that I would have just been in such a state of confusion as to be pleasantly surprised and have the emotional payoff for it too. Straight from tears to happiness, right? Instead of tears to. I'm sorry, by the way, when I say tears, I mean Lafiel's clearly, as I said, already emotionally drained of it from the setup. So, their tears to my confusion to their happiness, our happiness. I'll say my happiness too. I wish there wasn't that middle step. That did not serve to do anything for me. Otherwise, despite this being the last episode in this season, I'm still going to go back, do the fast forward thing, pick up any notes. I don't feel like there's a lot to pick up here, but I still want to make sure that I've fully collected everything. So, those were my first reactions to it, and I'll meet you on the other side of the fast forward to see what my final reaction is to it. So, catch you on the other side. All right, well, we're back from the flash forward. I keep calling it flash forward. From the fast forward. Sorry, I loved a book called Flash Forward, and I hated a TV show called Flash Forward. I think it's just in my brain now. Ah, that ending though. Even though I think it's Jinto's voice saying "you fool," but it's very clearly Lafiel's thought saying "you fool." Anyway, that's the final thing I didn't write down. You may have seen that I was doing the board in the middle of that. I guess I should just clarify real quick. Clearly Angus and dead. We saw it. Only person left from the whole deal is Lala to live a new life on another planet outside of the scope of the rest of the show, I'd imagine. And Selkirka, who is now girlfriend cat to Daiho. Sorry, I just don't know what to say it. I was going to attach a blue line to Selkirka to Lafiel as well. Clearly, there is some sort of relationship there. Uh, I guess all of those cats are technically Lafiel's cats, so I just didn't think it was important enough to waste more time on. I think the implication is it's fine. Also, as you can tell, Lafiel has a lot of lines connecting to her. I don't want to add to the mess. And I don't think it's going to become incredibly plot important who owns what cat. That would be a terrible way to go into Banner of the Stars 3. So I think it's fine just knowing that these two, in the same way that we kept the whole cat lineage together. So yeah, that is what I was doing with the board. I guess I'll just leave that like that. Even though you won't see it after this because I do that whole Jinto talking animation. Let's see. What were my wrap up thoughts here? From the memories of the past that we keep getting from both Lafiel's and Jinto's perspectives, all I feel is regret for the fact that the story we are going forwards into is more of what we got during Crest of the Stars. Except we know that we are only going to be getting 2 episodes of Banner of the Stars, meaning that even though we are going to bookend with more of the best stuff, which is to say the storylines that we got during Crest of the Stars, which I still say were the best, we won't get nearly as much of it as I would have hoped for. I mean, I don't know what was it. What's it called? Fragment of the Stars. The last thing, which only has 1 episode. I don't know what that's gonna be like. I doubt it's gonna be about Jinto and Lafiel, so it's already gonna be slightly on the back foot. But it still implies that we had 13 episodes of Crest of the Stars, and we only have 2 episodes of what I'm hoping is gonna be like Crest of the Stars. I don't know. Can only let it play itself out, not going to try and force it to be something that it's not. I wonder if Lafiel's dad has already conquered the hide system. If the United Mankind has truly been beaten back, I can't expect that there's going to be much resistance. I mean, the Fourth Prince even has the codes to the planetary defense system, as we learned in, what was it, the first episode? Not that that would be have amounted to much, as we were told that in the first place. That's why they surrendered so quickly, remember? If he has taken it, will it be that when we get there, all they'll do is land and, like, will Teal be a prisoner and Jinto will get to talk to him? Or will he be as dead as Jinto's dad is? Like, will it be no payoff there? Because, I want Teal to pay, but I don't care if it's on screen. If Teal pays off screen, like, side note, Teal's dead, cool. I'll be good. I'll be good with it. And I know this joke has long since been over. Like, maybe it's still close by due to the way the YouTube videos come out, and like one after another, but it has been like half a year since I've said this out loud. Will we finally find out where Rena went? Where's Rena? It's about time we figured that out. Kind of sad we didn't get to see Jinto get carried back to the landing site to experience Samson's cooking. We built up to it so much and then cut back to it, then just didn't get any payoff. I recognize that he wasn't in a great way, but even Lafiel says, I'm sure the doctor would sign off on you eating some soup. So, you know, the only reason I can think for them to animate the prisoner girls the way that they did was to imply the difference between their lowly stature and the respectability of the Ob. Because, all the other women that we see during this arc are just the Ob women, which means uniform. I'm not going to say cold attitude, but, demanding of respect. Even the servant girls of the former Count weren't as lewdly animated, despite being similarly dressed, right? That girl this episode was bouncing, and they gave the servant girls just as much and then didn't have them, you know? They even did Lala the same way, even though she was fighting for the cause of saving her people. It was just an odd choice, especially given the implied state that these women had been in before their incarceration. Now, granted, maybe the girl this episode, again, it felt like a Breaking Bad thing. Spoilers, I guess, for Breaking Bad here, but there's like a mid halfway part. Jesse is trying to get money from these two drug addicts. They have a kid, and they're futzing around in their apartment trying to break open an ATM to get the money, but they're so drugged out they don't even care. Just kind of feels like what was being represented by this girl and her dead boyfriend. That still doesn't explain anything to me. It felt weirdly out of place. And my last actual thought here, before I make a statement, is I still can't believe Sanson and Sobash don't continue on together. I get that they may have just been drinking buddies last season, but I really felt like they were building up to be more over the course of events. Maybe that's why they were separated all this season, to drive a wedge in my thought process about it, but I don't know. I really I guess I really feel like the Banner of the Stars 2 stuff was only setting up for what this season was going to be in the most indirect way. And I feel like they were building up something there that didn't get paid off. Maybe I just missed it and the payoff wasn't Banner of the Stars 2. Sorry, 1. But yeah, here we are. I guess I kind of have two statements to make now. One is that I'm obviously going to do a character and episode ranking for this whole series. When I say episode ranking, I mean top 5. I think we have landed on that in all of our other shows, reactions that we've done this sort of thing for. Like way back in the day, we would rank the whole friggin' thing. Top 5, that's good enough. I'm not a top 10 kind of person, and those top 10, 11 people, because I said I'm one beyond, fuck that, there's 6 beyond me. Top 5 is good enough. And character ranking, of course, but I don't know. I'm thinking that I'm only gonna do the most important characters because a bunch of these people were one-off or not even given anything at all. Like they were background, and I just wanted to be so thorough that I put them on the board. So anybody that was in more than one episode, or I personally feel like they were valuable enough to the story, I will put into the ranking. So just keep that in mind. That's going to happen. Not here, of course. I'm going to finish Band of Stars 3, and then Fragment of Stars, if that's what it's actually called, and then we'll get to that. I don't think there's any side or bonus content to this. I mean, I know there's a video game. I don't play the video game stuff. I mean, I really want to play some Gundam things, but that's not what this channel's for. Um, I know there's a manga. I might someday get to the manga. It's probably not going to be within the time scale of this. I have so much other manga stuff to do. Witch from Mercury, some Gundam 00 stuff. I think I was doing something else with Gundam as well that I can't remember off the top of my head. So, if I don't do it here, if I don't do a manga review for Banner of the Star stuff, then maybe I'll just like post something on the Discord. So if you're interested, join the Discord. I'm like way more connected to that than anywhere else, and I'll probably share my thoughts about it there if I ever do it. This season so far is the second best season. I would say that the episodes themselves were probably not as good as the best of the Banner of the Stars 1 episodes. Like the anniversary dinner one was way better, I felt like, than most of the episodes of this season. But the episodes of this season had a better median, right? On average, they were all better than the worst episodes of Banner of the Stars 1. And I would say a lot of the episodes of Banner of the Stars 1 were either boring or inconsequential to the story of the characters I wanted to see. Whereas Banner of Stars 2 was focused on those characters specifically with just a few side bits of the characters that I could deal with never seeing again, like the brothers. So, yeah, better season. Of course, the best season is still Crest of the Stars, the very first season, because it is everything that I wanted from the show, or rather, when I watched the show for the first time, was pleasantly surprised that this was what the show was like. And then when we get to Banner of the Stars and it's like this is not what the show is like, was sad that we left. And I've constantly wanted to return to that, and this was as close as we've gotten so far. Not so much in its like that, but it is at least a story of Lafiel and a story of Jinto that then comes back together and then promises more, right? I really did like the interaction between the political maneuvering on the planet. Dokufu, kind of a shit. I'm sad that he killed Maydeen, but the turn from basically he's a worm tongue. He's worm tongue from not Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. He's worm tongue from Lord of the Rings. I kind of thought he was like the drug dealing master, but apparently he was just another guy in the whole thing. Maydeen with his character development and build up, he's just like he's not like a dirty administrator. He's just a administrator who cared more about his people than the people he was supposed to be in charge of. Obviously, he didn't give a shit. He was bombing them with supplies, which ended up like killing them in mass as he was doing it. He did nothing to prevent it. Granted, those could have been actually the guards who were on the drug, so I don't know. But anyway, he has a loop of a character development, which is to say, kind of boring stereotypical character who then has this a lot of background and care and oh yeah, I will get the people off the planet that need to get off the planet first, and even I will stay behind to the very end. Oh, I lied to you about all the drugs. Never mind, I am that guy you thought I was. So there's that. Angus was kind of one note, but he was I'm gonna say he's more unlike the other characters in the show than anybody else. He is the berserker, right? He is people follow me for my force of personality, which is also based on my warrior mentality, even though I'm kind of weird, you know? So I appreciate him from the background perspective. He could have been the motivating factor and never been on screen, and I think he would have been just as good. So actually having him around, I guess it really does pay off by having him dead on the beach being pecked at by birds. Just implies that in the grand scheme of things, he was nothing. And then Lala, of course, not very important, but her story and the story of the people she represented was very good, and I liked how it turns from trying to get her way to empathy for her and what her people are going through, even if the animators did not reflect that in what they were doing with her. So yeah, I guess I also kind of sad they didn't do anything with the whole chemical castration thing. Like the implication of the entire center district, everybody who lived there only had to live there because they got chemically castrated, and Dokufu is the representative of them, and it's just like that's just passing, right? Like the whole motivation of the rebellion is the facet that these men want to have children, but you have the other element of the entire central district has been chemically castrated, so I guess we're just gonna make them drug addicts? I don't know. I feel like there could have been more to that. Otherwise, yeah, no, again, I feel like I've already said way more than I ever said about Banner of the Stars 1. Banner of the Stars 1 was kind of a slog. It was a low point punctuated by some really good episodes, whereas this one was a bunch of medium episodes punctuated by some really good story points. So, again, like I said, Crest of the Stars, Banner of the Stars 2, Banner of the Stars 1. It's going to be really hard to compare Banner of the Stars 3 to any of this because it's only 2 episodes and Fragment being only 1. I'm assuming they're going to be normal length episodes. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. Otherwise, I think this has been all of my thoughts about Banner of the Stars 2, as well as episode 10. Yeah, so thank you once again for joining me on this little adventure, and I will catch you next time. By the way, I'm Theta. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?